Alright, so now I actually was just watching the videos from the last response that I made to a first video, and his playlist of stuff, video response week things, and the quality's kind of choppy, so I'm not going to expect this to be any better. But that aside, I'm going to talk about the games that I want to create and throughout my childhood. I'm still going to keep this a short video, so don't click off. But I'm going to go on and just let everything flow. The first thing is like the campaign I'm having right now, and it involves what I'm going to talk about later on. This world I came up with when as a kid, just like got bored, came up with a card game. Hey guys, let's do this, and it pretty much blossomed into every other thing I want to do. Whenever I get into the illustration, game design career, and this world, I can't even explain this in 2-3 minutes. Long story short, the name of the world is based off a Finnish sea monster. It's either called Tursarum or the Tursas. This world has gone through like 7 different names before I finally settled on Tursarum, either Tursarum or whichever one it is. And it's pretty much like Duel Masters, where we have these different kingdoms based on different elements, except I added 3, where there's ice and air and earth. But you still have fire, light, darkness, water, and nature. And before it became a campaign, this world was a card game where it was just like Duel Masters, where you still had the 8 kingdoms, and it pretty much functioned like Yu-Gi-Oh, where you had a deck of 60 cards or 40, and if you ever played Duel Masters or Magic the Gathering, that's pretty much how it worked, except there would be a point system. Instead of using cards from your hand as mana, you used a set number of points to pay to cast your spells and summon your creatures. You can only summon so many a turn, but any number could be on the battlefield, because there would be some with abilities that would stay in, because there would be 2 zones. There would be the zone where you summon things, and then another zone where they would fight. Some cards, they didn't have this ability, but others, they had ability to where they could stay in the battle zone. So you can only put in like 4 or 5, I don't remember how many it was, but you could put down 4 or 5 creatures. But some cards had an ability that allowed them to stay in a combat zone, so you could swing with those guys, they'd stay there, you keep putting creatures on the battlefield and just putting them all in. I also thought about turning like the campaign world, into a video game where it would be like Tursarum or Chronicles of Tursarum, where a lot of the NPCs in this campaign would have their own stories. They'd be characters you play in a video game. The video game would pretty much be playing like Skyrim, because that game is awesome, and we can all agree on this. I don't really have too much else to say here, but I really wanted to make this happen. I'm not asking for anything, I'm just saying, like, it's an idea, and I gotta make it happen. And school's one of the only ways it's gonna happen. So, that's my response. I want to take my campaign world and pretty much make it, like, bigger than any other game.